Don't skip it. Is the power of the mind to be unconquerable? Seneca, there will be days when you feel as if the whole world has turned its back on you. A single criticism, a look of doubt, or even a cold attack can be enough to wear you down. How many times have you rushed to justify yourself, trying to explain in hopes of being understood and defending your dignity? That's a natural human reaction. We all want to protect our honor, to be recognized. But the more you speak, the smaller you feel, the more deeply you sense the hurt and helplessness in the face of things beyond your control. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true power does not lie in winning every argument, but in the ability to control ourselves, to remain calm, and to master our own reactions. In the eyes of the Stoic, silence and composure are the strongest armor. No one can touch you or hurt you unless you allow it. This video will help you see more clearly the path to inner freedom, enabling you to find solutions to face any challenge while still maintaining your core values intact. Watch until the end to become truly strong and ready to turn the tables in your own life. Never defend yourself when criticized. 1. Never defend yourself when criticized. When someone criticizes you, especially in public, at work, in a tense meeting, or even just online, what is your first reaction? Is it to jump straight in to explain, to defend yourself? Maybe even to clarify every point as if you were trying to salvage the last shred of your dignity? Have you ever noticed that every time you do that, you are falling deeper into the trap your opponent, sometimes with just a careless remark, sometimes with calculated intent, has set for you? The truth is, most of us cannot stand the feeling of being misunderstood or attacked. Instinctively, we rush to defend ourselves, but have you ever felt truly stronger after justifying yourself? Let me share a scene I once witnessed. Victor, a friend of mine, calm and capable, the type who gets things done but hates conflict. Once in a meeting, his boss suddenly asked a tough question. "Victor, why is this project behind schedule? Is it because you weren't paying close enough attention?" All eyes turned to him. Can you guess what Victor did first? He hurriedly explained, listing reasons, pointing out all the objective factors, and then affirmed, "I always prioritize my work. I've tried my best." But in that very moment, the silence in the room became an invisible judgment. No one really listened. No one shared his concern. On the contrary, a few exchanged looks that seemed to say he must be at fault. That's why he's so eager to explain. Every time you justify yourself, no matter how well-intentioned, you implicitly hand over the right to judge you to others. You turn yourself into the accused, and they become the judge by default. And in that instant, you lose your initiative. That's a price not everyone is sober enough to see. You react. You fumble for reasons. You try to prove you're right. You're not wrong. You deserve to be understood. But the more you explain, the weaker you become, the more you get pulled into a story you no longer control. The irony is that the very act of defending yourself makes you lose yourself. Philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." When you start justifying, you're agreeing to play by the rules set by your opponent. Don't mistake silence for weakness. Silence is a weapon. Silence is the armor of the strong. Silence is how you show that you are not easily shaken by passing attacks. You are standing on a higher ground, looking down on all the noise with calm detachment. The truth is, in life, truly strong men, the ones who truly have strength, are not those who speak the loudest or argue the best, but those who never have to justify their value. Their value speaks for itself regardless of what anyone says. Do you want to try? Next time someone criticizes you, especially in public, stay silent. Don't justify. Don't argue. Don't explain. Let the accusation pass over you like the wind over stone. Your composure will make your opponent question their own motives. Those around you will have to rethink things. You'll realize that in silence, you lose nothing. On the contrary, you keep your initiative, your dignity, and your inner freedom. something no one can take from you. Victor's story didn't end in that meeting. Later, I asked him, if that situation happened again, what would you do? Victor thought for a moment and said, I think I'd just look my boss in the eye and stay silent. Then quietly find the evidence to prove myself right. I know exactly what I've done, and my value lies in my actions, not in explanations. That's the shift from reacting to taking charge, from being passive to proactive, from anxious to confident. That's a path any man can choose if he has enough clarity and discipline. Ultimately, every justification is just a thin veil covering up your own fears. If you truly believe in yourself, you don't need to brace yourself for anyone. The quieter you are, the stronger you become. The less you say, the more you make others think. Don't give away your power to anyone through hasty explanations. Learn to be silent. Let composure become your invincible armor. Don't fear being misunderstood. Don't fear being approved. Don't let others' words define your worth. Let today be the day you decide to reclaim your authority with silence, with resolve, with self-respect. And when you do, you'll realize you don't need anyone's recognition. You don't need justification. All you need is yourself, steadfast, calm, untouchable. 2. The power of silence and composure. The power of silence and composure. Imagine yourself standing in a room full of noise, judgments, attacks, and comments coming at you like an endless downpour. Everyone is speaking. Everyone wants to be heard. In that chaos, you remain silent. You don't rush to respond. You don't show anger. You don't wave your hands in argument. All eyes start to focus on you. Your silence isn't a retreat, nor is it a sign of defeat. It's a kind of power that most people cannot immediately understand. We are living in a noisy world where everyone competes to speak, afraid of being left behind, convinced that if they don't speak up and defend their point, they'll be pushed aside or disregarded. But it is in this rush that we lose the power of silence. In today's world full of noise and differing opinions, we often overlook the power of silence. We rush to be heard, but in doing so, we lose the strength and wisdom found in choosing our moments of quiet. Silence does not mean withdrawing from the world, but is about actively using it as a tool for self-awareness and self-mastery. It is not about retreating from the world, but about actively turning silence into a tool for self-awareness and mastery. The Stoics understood this very well. The philosopher Epictetus once wrote, "If someone speaks badly of you, do not defend yourself against the accusations, but reply, 'You obviously don't know about my other vices.' Otherwise, you would have mentioned these as well." In everyone's life, there will come a time when you are questioned, misunderstood, or attacked unfairly. At those times, instinct pushes you to react, to defend yourself, to prove yourself, to seek approval. But when you choose silence, when you refuse to participate in the emotional game others are playing, you naturally become the one holding the initiative. You show your opponent and the crowd that you are not shaken. You don't need to prove yourself. You know who you are. Let me tell you a story about Marie Curie, the first woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes in different fields. In her time, science was a man's world. She faced criticism, scorn, even malicious rumors, not just once, but throughout her entire career. But Marie Curie did not fight back, did not try to clarify herself in the press, did not jump into arguments. She let her silence and her work speak for her. The result, her attackers gradually faded away in the face of her true achievements. The crowd, minute by minute, shifted from doubt to admiration. Marie's composure made all attacks meaningless. The crowd will not overlook your attitude either. When everyone is loud, the one who keeps calm naturally becomes a compelling focal point. That composure radiates, making others reassess the situation and reconsider who really controls the game, who is truly strong. The one who shouts, who points fingers, or the one who quietly stands firm like an unmovable pillar. The power of silence is not in hiding from the world, but in mastering yourself in the face of it. It is not easy to stay silent, especially when someone deliberately pushes you into a corner, waiting for you to lose your temper, waiting for you to make a mistake. But if you have enough discipline to remain calm, you will see everything change. Your opponent gradually loses patience. The crowd starts to shift its gaze. The story is no longer about the initial accusation, but about your response. And when you don't react as expected, you have flipped the script. You force everyone to think again. I know it's not easy to change habits, especially under great pressure, but try it just once. When someone attacks, stay silent. Let your calm create an invisible pressure. Let them fall into their own trap. And you will see the strongest people are not those who speak the most, but those who know how to control themselves before the whole world. Remember, you cannot control other people's tongues, but you can absolutely control yourself. Silence and composure are not just weapons. They are the armor that keeps you invulnerable. That is the message of so many great people who have forged their true strength. Let your composure burn hotter than any anger. And when you do that, you are no